not niche. If you like femboys, if you like masked lesbians, if you're asexual, if you're pansexual, then so be it. Like, don't try to be a closet. Like, don't try to tell people you're bisexual even though you're fully gay. Hey y'all, so today I'm gonna discuss things that I did. I would call them kind of unhinged, kind of crazy. Crazy things that I did to help myself overcome anxiety. So I'm just gonna say this on the top of my mind because I wanted to make an outline, but then it just sounds more authentic when I don't have the outline. And right now I'm on TikTok live and people are calling me nuts for talking to myself. So yeah, I think the first thing that I did that helped me overcome anxiety is to go back to school. I dropped out of uni because of my anxiety, and at first the idea of me going back feels like I'm trying to shoot myself in the foot. But surprisingly, it turned out for the better. At first, it was real bad. My lowest point in my life was trying to fix a Canva PowerPoint that I was not responsible for anymore, but because my groupmates wouldn't do it and my laptop was broken, I was restricted to that iPad, and like Canva on iPad is like really slow. And I was crying because it was slow and also because I couldn't keep my focus for even like that 5 minutes. But I think the reason why it was so helpful is because I was showing myself proof that I could actually do it. Like, that is one of the topics that me and my therapist discussed. Doubt your self-doubt. Like, you have to show the only way to overcome your fears is to show yourself proof of things you're doing that you previously thought you couldn't do. Like, there's just no shortcut to it, and it's gonna be hard and it's gonna be long, and you can't expect it to like happen overnight. And which brings me to my second point, which is going to the therapist. Even though I would say I talk about mental health awareness a lot, there is still that stigma within me of me like, hesitating, because like my idea is that if you go to a therapist, there's something wrong with you. But I do recommend going to a therapist even if there's nothing wrong with you, because chances are most people have childhood traumas and fears and just experiences that they've buried down the blanket and just try to never bring up again, that's gonna come up in therapy. And when I was there, I thought I was gonna be like, chill girl, healed, I just need to fix my ADHD, because I got diagnosed with that. Bro, minutes later I started crying. She was asking all the personal questions, and at that time I chose to be vulnerable, and I just found myself like telling her my life story and how I felt about it, and like feelings that I have never thought in that manner. Like, yung first time ko talagang nalabas, like, how do I don't know how to explain it, but there's just something about talking in a room with someone willing to listen to you. I mean, technically they're paid to listen to you because you want them to like help you cope with everyday life, right? But there's just something about that process that helped me heal and like move on and also function in my day-to-day life. And at the start of the therapy session, you're gonna be asked to just brain dump everything that you're concerned about, and at the end they ask you what your goal is, and you're gonna do like a breathing exercise, a meditation exercise, which for me at the time was not even working. But the more that you do that specific exercise recommended to you, the more that it's likely to work. Because I think the first part is believing that it would work. Like, I was recommended to do the tapping thing, and also breathing in a box, and also envisioning my safe space, which at that time was my ex-wife's room. Now my safe space is something different. It's literally my room and my bed, and I'm like floating on the water. Ang layo, ma. Because I'm making a new video, so Yeah, that's another thing that I did to help me overcome my anxiety. And the third thing is that you have to get ahead of your depression. So after living with my mental illnesses for years, you kind of start to notice a pattern. When I don't shower in the afternoon, in the morning, when I like shower in the evening, it makes me feel really bad. Particularly, like, especially because I value basic hygiene, and I feel like it's some form of self-torture for myself when I don't feel clean and I don't do my get ready with me routine. Like, those get ready with me's, it looks silly, but it's actually like, I realize it's actually like very important to my headspace. To my, you have to have this routine, especially when you're in a depressive episode and like you're just bed rotting. When you do the same thing, like lying on bed all the time, it really does something to your brain, and there is no other way for you to escape it but to be stuck in a routine that helps you prevent that from happening. So for me, I wake up and the first thing that I prioritize is saying good morning to my dogs, because I know it just brings me joy. And I have to clean Kiki's eyes because he struggles with dry eyes, and I have to clean it with like sterile water, remove it with cotton balls, and then like put his ointment, because I know that if I don't do that, um nobody else in this house will, and he's gonna be stuck with his eye like that. And that has actually happened during my worst depressive episodes, and that made me feel even more bad because I love this dog. He's like 12 years old. I wish, please, oh my god, I don't want him to die. So as much as I want Kiki not to die, oh my god, I'm emotionally dependent on my dogs. I think that's one thing. So I don't want to wake up seeing him with his eyes closed because I neglected him, and I assumed that somebody else in the house would do it. I mean, because he has like dark fur, so if not, unless you're looking at him, you're not really gonna notice. I'm the one who usually notices because I grab them around and like say ah. Um. So yeah, that's one thing, and another thing that I did. I don't know where we are on this topic. I'm just like spewing out things as I go. I think it's being, as cliche as it sounds, being true to yourself even when it comes to your purchases. Like little things like this, like my comb, my keyboard, even my I'll show you my keyboard case. I have like a list of like content that I want to do, but like no script. Even this like keyboard cover is pink. Believe it or not, there was a time where I got the wolf cut. Um, just so I wouldn't piss this girl off, cause she hit me like twice, like 3 times in the face, and like my eyeglasses almost like got into my eyes, and she only said sorry for like the third time, and like I wanted to prove to her that I wasn't being dumb at the game for male attention. I was just fucking bad at sports, y'all. And that time I was dressing very mask. I used to dress very feminine. All because I didn't want to bring any attention to myself because it was the height of when I was being cyberbullied. And I think that kind of harmed me in a way because I was trying to be someone I wasn't. Which sounds very cliche, but when you force that, when you force your clothes, when you force your hair, the way you talk into someone that you don't want to be, it's really gonna 100% sure, like it's really gonna be, it's literally like asking for depression. And I think that's the case with, for example, you're a closeted gay and you want to dress feminine, but unfortunately your dad will beat you up if you wear a dress. You have to find your outlet. Like, risk it a little bit. Go pack a dress in your backpack and start dressing femme once you're out of that house. Because unfortunately, there are still environments that are still like that, and I'm very really sorry to hear that you're not in a supportive environment. It was really like that at me for first as well, but right now my sister's like really chill, and I talk about my Wawa situationship with her like it's an everyday thing. So it really is a process for them to accept you, because the assumption is that you're straight. And yeah, that's another other thing is not suppressing who you are, specifically with your sexuality. Like if you like femboys, if you like um what's another niche? Not niche. If you like femboys, if you like masked lesbians, if you're asexual, if you're pansexual, then so be it. Like don't try to be a closet, like don't try to tell people you're bisexual even though you're fully gay. Because that was me. That was me years ago. At first I was like, hi friends, I'm coming out as bisexual. All because I was afraid to say I was lesbian. And like, bisexual is basically liking like all girls and like two guys. Which doesn't really count, it's like lesbian. For sure lesbian. And after this recent situationship, honestly think I might just go and be a nun. Apparently, you can go be a nun and then get free food for life, It's a good retirement plan. I'm genuinely considering it. Except when you become a nun, you can't wear this wig. You have to, like, wear the uniform and, like, be conservative. I'm not conservative. I curse at people I hate. Oh my god, it's been 11 minutes. I'm gonna try to, max it out to 20 minutes so that my watch hours, like, go up. I'm trying to get 4,000 watch hours. So, please watch my videos till the end. So yeah, that's all I can think for now. And not only your sexuality, but also with choosing your friends. I used to think that having a small circle of friends that I commit to was like a good thing. But like there's a whole world out there. If your friends change and like you don't want to talk to them anymore, for me the turning point was when I realized that my friends are only like fun and relatable when we're talking about their boy toys. There is nothing beyond that conversation that is like the usual topic. These people are like, I still think that they're smart people, talented, and I do think about them from time to time. I do miss them honestly, but I don't miss how the friendship turned out like later on in our older years. And to me it really hurt for me to end that friendship. I sent them like a long message of why I wanted to end our friendship. It felt like a breakup with like a real long-term romantic relationship, because it really felt like that. And surprisingly, years later, I found people who value the same. I found people who also prioritize the same values that I want to value, like not talking about boys all the time. Like that is like there's that specific friend, she was only like really talkative and like funny when the topic of boys was involved. So I don't think it's not that it's a bad, I mean I wouldn't say like it's inherently bad thing, but when you're around people that you've outgrown, it kind of causes a disconnection. You're gonna feel disconnected from these friends, and at first it will feel scary. You're gonna think, wow, I'm never gonna meet people like them. What if this is it? I'm never gonna find friends. But I did, and most of my friends are foreigners, so that was the solution. Go meet people beyond your country. I find that people who aren't Filipino are just generally more progressive, and I can talk about anything with them without feeling any judgment whatsoever. And I know that these people are gonna be like my solid day ones, because what I found also sad about that previous relationship, a previous friendship, is that this girl was only supportive when I had no followers. And like when I started my TikTok, my old TikTok started growing, I saw her like liking everybody else's TikToks and commenting, and like, but not on mine. Like, and it's a stupid thing to like be upset over, but to me, like, it's a big deal. Like, why did you stop being supportive? Like, were you my evil eye all this time? So yeah, there's that. You can't be friends with someone who you have a gut feeling it's like your evil eye. Like, you cannot force them into being supportive for you when in the first place they never really liked you. That's it. I've said it. And this girl didn't, one of those girls didn't even, she specifically told me that she returned my top. No, you didn't. It's on your Instagram. And it was my favorite top. Favorite top. And not unless you time traveled and you teleported to the place that I got it, which is overseas. There is no way you could have gotten that top. So yeah, the only thing I'm bitter about is her not returning my clothes. I was like, what the fuck? That's kind of low-key stealing. The rest of it, I kind of just, healed from. Speaking of friends, people like yo-yo between settling for less and like fixing a relationship. It took a while for me to like Janko scratching his stomach. He feels really itchy. I spent like 20k trying to fix his allergy problem, only for the vet to tell me he's a really bad breed. So there goes my 20k. I'm absolutely poor right now. And when it comes to romantic relationships, because I've only had one relationship so far, I don't really have a point of reference. I think that's one of my disadvantages. But then you don't really have to do that. You can use your friends as examples. You have to treat your relationship as if you were seeing it from a third person of point of view. Like, you can't see it as the person loving that person. Like, you have to detach the person and the issue. Because when you keep on thinking that, oh, I love this person, I want to make it work, it's just gonna cause you so much trauma in the long run. Yeah. I don't know how exactly I could explain this, but if you've been in a relationship, you'd understand me. Because my fear before was that if I wasn't trying to fix the relationship, then I'm kind of, my fear before is that I was using settling less as an excuse not to fix the relationship, but I really was actually actively trying to fix the relationship. And I did try my best. My absolute fucking best. And that's the red flag with me. When I like a person, I like them all the way to Antarctica, brother. And it usually lasts at least a year. That's another thing. When you feel emotions like very deeply, and you can't do anything about it, you just have to feel them all the way until you no longer have them. Because I realized when I tried to suppress myself, I tried to shame myself into not feeling them, it just ends up like being more. Look at Django. Hello, Django. Are you planning to sleep under the table tonight? Oh yes, he does. Come on, sleep in there. He just kind of end up having those feelings for a longer time because you did try to suppress it, and now there's like a extension period. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I don't know what I'm gonna film next. I'll just think about it as I go. I will try to make a script next time though, so thank you for listening to this video. Bye.